So, my dear students, we were talking about the PPT presentation, and I was talking about this on the original slideshow. Uh, just wait. Let me share the screen. Yeah, yeah. So I was talking about that we have seen various type of structures all around us. We have seen space frame or frame structure where we have six different independent or six different equilibrium equations: Fx, Fy, Fz, Mx, My, Mz. We have six different equations acting on the space structure. We have space stress also. We have space stress also, and you have found out that for two-dimensional truss, what is the degree of static indeterminacy? So transmission tower is another steel structure. Uh, just wait. Yeah, sure. Okay, thank you. I'm just sharing the slide. I'm just uh, check. Yeah. Okay. So now a different type of structure. We have the Golden Gate Bridge. We have a Golden Gate Bridge, or we have truss bridges. We have truss bridges in Kolaghat. We have truss bridges in our Hooghly Bridge, Howrah Hooghly, the typical being structure. So what we take, we consider the original bridges and we convert it into the skeletal structure. Again, I'm talking about we have to convert it into skeletal structure where we have the deck slab, we have the truss, we have the stringer beams. It's very important as a civil engineer. You should know the basic concepts or the basic knowledge on the truss, the various elements of beam, of very elements of bridges. No one will be asking you the huge details on bridges, but you should have a very primary basic knowledge on bridges because you're a civil engineer. You're going to make a career in structural engineer. Maximum students do not get job. Maximum students do not get job because of lack of practical knowledge and because lack of structural knowledge. But these things you have to just remove from your part. You have to, whatever you learn, whatever you study, no problem. Do not uh, do anything. Do not scratch on the PPT, please. Do not scratch on the PPT. Do not scratch on the PPT. Yeah. So it's an extremely what should I say? It's extremely humiliating when a student scratches on the PPT. Okay, intentionally or unintentionally, it doesn't matter. But when you're scratching on the PPT, that means you're disrespecting your guardian. You just take yourself. I don't know why you people are so much involved. You're so much interested in disarming or humiliating your teachers. It's very pathetic. This is the current scenario of India. So coming to this portion, uh, if we have curved bridges, we have sort of bridge like this. We have sort of bridge like this. We have typical bridge we have in Dubai. It's the picture in Dubai, and we also have such type of bridges in many areas in India also. We have bridges. We have suspension bridges. It's called suspenders. It's called suspension bridge. Okay. We will learn about suspension bridges in module 1 only. Obviously, another stiffening girders, suspension bridge with stiffening girders. That is, we have arches not at the top but at the bottom. We have downward or concave arch, unlike convex. It is concave arch. We have stiffening girders. We will all learn in module 1 how the analysis of stiffening girders are actually acting. This all we will learn. It's very important. So this subject has a huge importance as far as structural importance is concerned, and obviously from a construction point of view. Yeah. So I was talking about the basic framework concepts of space and plane frames. In space frames, we have three-dimensional space frame, and as I told you, we had six different equations, 6 different static compatible equations in space frame. And plane frame, we have 2 equations. Oh, sorry, we have 3 equations: a space frame 3D, plane frame 2D. So here we have shown that if we cut a section in a 3D frame, what are the various forces acting? And similarly, in a plane frame, it may be plane beam, it a plane frame, 2D frame. If you cut a section, we will have a shear force, downward, equal and opposite. If we have the right side downward shear force, we will left side we have the upward shear force. And we will have an equal and opposite moments and obviously actual forces. It can be tensile, it can be compressive, but equal and opposite forces. So we have taken 3, that is Fx, if please follow my laser, Fx, Fy and Mz. Fx, Fy and Mz, these 3 are all 0. Yeah, when we're talking about the plane frames and beams, so this is a plane frames are subject to under vertical loading. This is the approximate, we will learn the approximate method of portal frames under vertical loading. This is not absolutely there in your syllabus, but I will talk shortly on this topic before starting the module 4. In module 4, we have portal and cantilever methods under horizontal loading. It is vertical loading. Okay, this gravity loading, it's vertical loading. So we have fixed beam, we have overhanging beams. Okay, so under due to this vertical loading, what will be the bending moment diagram and what will be the shear force diagram? This concept is very important. If you don't study vertical loading analysis, no problem, but you should have a concept on your how the bending moment diagram looks and shear force diagram looks due to the gravity loading or vertical loadings acting on the members of frame. Then we have the grid frame also, grid beams. We have torsional stiffness negligible. We have grids, that is the network of beams and columns. We have torsional stiffness negligible. Grid element reduces to beam element. So what we can take in order to understand all the members, we will take each and every member individually, and then we will find out the bending moment and shear force and compare all the bending moment and shear force diagrams of all the members. This is how we analyze structurally if you don't have a software. Nowadays, all this whole structure is analyzed with softwares like StatPro, ETAP, SAT 2000, and ANSYS and other different software. But when we're doing the analysis using our hand manually, we have to have a basic concept on all of this. Because without basic concepts or manual or basic concept manual concepts, utilization of software is just vague. Also, we will talk about structural efficiency here. In asymmetrical bending of beams is observed in steel structures, which you will learn in just the next semester. So efficient utilization of material in structural element, with axial or membrane elements are most efficient. Non-uniform stresses generated in bending and torsion, use of I-beams and annular section. So you have learned that tension and compression, you have learned stress strain, you have learned principal stress, principal strain in strength of materials. In I section, you have learned shear stresses and bending stresses chapter. And also, if you have learned torsion, we have torsion of circular shafts in strength of materials. So the unsymmetrical bending of beam and curved beam analysis, the module 2 will take help of your concept of strength of materials. Another type of elements which you don't know, but I have brought to the notice, we have surface elements. It can be curved shell-like dome structures for if we have dome structures in mosques, we have dome structures in auditorium. We have folded plates also. In many public shopping malls or public sector buildings, we have these folded plates. So these are, we have surface, they are called membrane elements. They can be termed as surface or plate element. Okay. So modeling of structure, this I was going to very much tell you that this is the complete distribution of various modeling of structures. If you have linear one-dimensional structure is absolutely vague. This concept is hypothetical. It is actual system. We have planar, we have 3D space, so we have structure. First is structure, we have skeletal and we have spatial. If we have spatial or space structure, we can have walls, we can have slabs, we can have shells, we can have folded plates. If we go to the structure, to skeletal structure, we have space structure, space frame, grid, we can have space frame, space truss, we can have plane truss, and obviously we know that trusses are only subjected to axial forces. Truss is such a member, they are subjected to axial forces. It can be compressive, it can be tensile, but we don't have bending moment acting in the axial members, and they're all pin connected. So obviously, joint, and we're talking about the joint and supports. Kinematic function, we controls, we have learned kinematic indeterminacy. So we will learn kinematic function, we have learned to control the relative displacements, because kinematic indeterminacy talks about number of joint displacements acting on the structure. Static function, for static indeterminacy, we are providing for transmission of forces. The kinematic function is related with relative displacements or deflection, where static, it provides for transmission of forces. And these two are joining at a joint or support, which are primarily, they are can be classified in three different ones: pinned, semi-rigid, and rigid. In pinned, we have free rotation. We have semi-rigid. In rigid, we have no relative rotation or transitional. So no rotational freedom, no transitional freedom is there in rigid, or we can tell as fixed. If you see this fixed end, we have three unknowns. In roller, we have one unknown. This is the hinge joint connection between the elements, and this is the hinged, or we can say pinned. We have two unknowns: support reactions, and obviously the transitional reaction, transitional movement, and support reaction. So here in hinged or pin support, we have two unknowns. Roller, we have one unknown, and fixed, we have three unknowns. Yeah. So which I was talking about behavior.
Hello.
How the any
Hello.
yeah, any doubts?
Hello. Sir, actually, we are having another class from 11 a.m.
Okay. So your madam will surely take you. So thank you very much. I have taken the 1 hour class. So thank you. I have taken your screenshot for your attendance. I hope you've loved the class. This is just introductory class. That's all. Thank you very much. You can exit the meeting. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
hello. So,
Yes.
good morning, sir. So, Dev this side.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, actually, regarding the Zoom has some cyber security threats, I guess. Many organizations have already banned this app. So, sir, can we switch this app to Google Meet or Microsoft Teams?
See, one thing very important is that is your doubt is very genuine. One thing I have taken the classes, I have seen that in Google Meet, when using my board, you cannot see. It's very hazy. I have a good quality photograph. I have phone of Samsung A30, Samsung
Okay.
M30. Yeah. Still, the Google Zoom, the Google Meet, the screen is not proper visible. Okay. But for when we're talking about presentation, we can go for Google Meet, no problem. The first day to take the attendance, I brought to in Zoom, but from the next day, I feel in mobile also, it has some cybersecurity problem. Yeah, sure, but yeah, I know that I have some cybersecurity, but the main thing is that the camera, the picture quality. Where if I teach in board, it will vary, because structural analysis is one subject. Without board, we cannot understand. So I feel I know it's a problem. It's a problem is there, but the camera in Zoom is better. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So we can do in Google Meet, but many of you will go on starting, sir. We cannot see. It's hazy. Yeah, I've seen it's a very hazy with good quality picture also, with good quality phone also. It is very hazy. Okay, so that is why I have told in Zoom. Okay, I cannot. I'm finding in some all any all other alternative apps. So for that being, for please consider. I know that. Thank you, everyone. I'm ending the meeting.